Hello and welcome. This is the first part in a series of beginner tips using spreadsheets to help teachers be more efficient in the classroom. Teachers understand using Google Docs and Google Slides, but not so much with Google Sheets. These are digital documents that we use more and more in our classroom and connected worlds. Have you ever felt anxiety or stress when using a spreadsheet? Have you wondered, what are they actually used for? Why are spreadsheets such a mystery and so hard for some teachers to use? In this lesson, I'll talk to you about the basic layout of a spreadsheet and some common spreadsheet vocabulary. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the main parts. Rows. These are the horizontal lines of cells across a spreadsheet. Rows are labeled by numbers, starting with 1 and can go up to as high as 10,000 or more. Columns. These are the vertical lines of cells going down a spreadsheet. Columns are always labeled by a letter, starting with letter A. They carry on a pattern of A, B, C, or A, B, and so on. Cell. This is the box where you type information in, such as words, numbers, dates, etc. Cell name. This is a reference that lets you know what cell you are in. Each cell has an address consisting of a letter-number combination, for example, A1, B37, and so on. Current cell. This is the cell that you are working in. It is highlighted with a blue border. Down at the bottom we have worksheet tabs. These are like having different pages on a spreadsheet. You can create different tabs for different types of data and information. You can add new tabs and you can see a menu of all of your tabs in your spreadsheet. Now, let me talk to you about how I got hooked on spreadsheets. As a teacher, I remember one of my first uses of spreadsheets was to make a class roster. I had a list of students and I wanted a way to make a checklist of a variety of items. I had seen some examples of this being done on a table in a document. It could have been in a word processing document or a spreadsheet. I wasn't really sure. What I did like about the spreadsheet was that the table was already there. I mean, like all the boxes and lines were already made. I could just easily drag the lines and boxes to match what I wanted to make. And for me, that made sense. I had no idea about the actual function of a spreadsheet. I didn't even really know how teachers use spreadsheets effectively. All I knew is that I wanted to put some names in a list and have some columns where I could put some information in about a student. Now, over time, my checklist grew to adding information such as birthdays and test scores and anecdotal notes, and this was fine. I was definitely not making the best use of the power of spreadsheets, but in my defense, I just didn't really know what they could do. Now, based on my personal experience, I have noticed that spreadsheets in schools seem to be mainly used for a few things. For example, lists used for organizing information to keep track of tasks, items, inventory, birthdays, emails, attendance, or any other types of items that maybe don't have numbers. They are great for tracking student test scores, both letter and number grades, average test scores, looking at high scores and low scores or scores over time. Schedules. These could be digital lesson planners, timetables across a grade level, a division, or even a school. These could also be daily timetables or weekly schedules, or even a yearly calendar. Now, this is by far the most requested option from teachers for me to help them set up. A lot of things listed above can be captured in a word processing document. So why not just use that instead of a spreadsheet? Well, first of all, spreadsheets do some really cool things when it comes to numbers. Spreadsheets are really effective at automating certain tasks. And these will save you time and headaches in the future. You can create a system or a model that works for you and use it over and over again. Another cool thing about spreadsheets is the ability to sort, hide, and rearrange information easily. Now, processing information takes time, but spreadsheets can help speed up the analysis and processing time for you. So I've talked about some of the basics of a spreadsheet and how they can be used in the classroom. I want to dive in and give you some hands-on experiences using these tips. In my next lessons, I will show you how to get started. We will learn the basics of cell referencing, learning how to separate and combine data with the split and concatenate formulas, creating your own drop-down menus with data validation, and using conditional formatting to change the way a cell looks depending on the data entered. These lessons will give you the foundational skills that you can practice before diving into my course on creating one of the most requested spreadsheets by teachers. your own customizable digital weekly lesson planner. This is a lesson planner that is totally customizable with automated data entry for tedious tasks, as well as conditional formatting to make it look and work the way that you want it to. I'm excited to help you become more confident and more efficient with spreadsheets in the classroom. You can also find out more at smithvisualizations.com.